range of Iranian ballistic missiles. Rebecca Grant is a national security and military analyst, also senior fellow for the Lexington Institute, and joins us now. So Iran has maintained, we're specifically developing short-range ballistic missiles, less than 2,000 kilometers, or about 900 miles, I guess, and we're not going for the intermediate range stuff. This would seem to put the lie to what they were claiming yet again.
Yes, and we saw their space launch capability. The IRGC popped up a rocket back in 2024. So you lighten the warhead, you put in some more propellant at another stage, and you've got that reach towards Diego Garcia. What was so scary, John, is that is one of our biggest forward bomber bases. Our B-52s, B-2s, B-1s have all operated out of there. Of course, they're tankers and occasionally fighters, too. So that was Iran trying, but failing, thanks to that U.S. Navy sea-based ballistic missile intercept.
And we should also point out that at the beginning of this conflict, the UK had denied us permission to use that base, but then reopened it after President Trump, I think, took a strip off of Keir Starmer. The Council on International Mediation said this about the attempted missile strike. The real story is not whether the missile was intercepted. It is that Iran may have demonstrated reach far beyond what much of the world believed it possessed. A 4,000-kilometer capability changes the map. Major European capitals begin to enter the conversation. Paris comes into range. London moves much closer to the edge of vulnerability, depending on launch point and payload. If confirmed, Diego Garcia was not just a target, it was a message. Now, hitting an island that's only 15 by 5 miles wide in the middle of the Indian Ocean is a pretty hard target to hit. But if you fired one of those at Paris, which is about 7 or 8 miles across, even if you missed, you're likely going to hit something.
Well, that Diego Garcia attempt was a message that Iran will go after critical infrastructure. Now, the U.S. and the Europeans have known all along that Iran had this possible rogue missile capability. Why? That's why we have early warning radars in Poland and Romania set up for that, and why we have an entire destroyer squadron based out of Rota in the Mediterranean. Right now, our primary defense against Iran's long-range missiles is sea-based shots with the SM-3 and family from our destroyers.
So the stock market and the oil markets like what President Trump said late yesterday on Truth Social, and that is that the United States is engaged in talks with Iran about potentially bringing an end to this conflict. Here's what he said under the wing, or I guess he was under the fuselage of Air Force One earlier today.
We're dealing with the man who I believe is the most respected and the leader. It's a little tough. We've wiped out everybody.
Is that the Supreme Leader?
No, not the Supreme Leader, but the people that seem to be running it, and they seem that based on really fact, because things they've said have taken place.
Mr. President,
I can't.
Mr. President, I know you've deployed.
Because I don't want them to be killed.
People were asking for the name. He said, I don't want him to be killed, so I'm not going to tell you. But it seems, according to some reports, that it's the Speaker of the Iranian Parliament, Mohammad Gallup, though he is saying the following. Our people demand the complete and humiliating punishment of the aggressors. All officials stand firmly behind their leader and people until the goal is achieved. No negotiations with America have taken place. Fake news is intended to manipulate financial and oil markets and escape the quagmire in which America and Israel are trapped. But if anybody is a do one thing, say another, it's Iran.
Well, whoever it is we're talking to you, I can tell you this. Iran's escalation has failed. So, oh, yes, Iran wants to talk about how they get out of this mess. But we got to destroy the rest of their military capability first.
Yeah, well, we've seen video of those underground missile cities, as they call them, and they seem pretty formidable. And I know that the U.S. and Israel are trying to knock them out as best they can, but that's buried deep in granite.
But they're doing a tremendous job, and it's about finding those targets, using the bunker busters, and then looking for any additional targets that have popped up, and of course, getting after the rest of that anti-ship cruise missile threat in the Strait of Hormuz and putting that great maritime surveillance over the strait so that we can think about getting more shipping traffic moving.
Yeah, I got to get that moving again as well. Rebecca, always great to see you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.